Yo, testing. Can you guys hear me? Audio good, audio good. All right, one more sound check. Okay, Arshawn says it's good. I'm having issues with my internet, so trying to make sure everything's good. Okay. All right, we good to go. What is going on, guys? This is a special edition of the Take It Home podcast today. It is I, Chris Classic. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, March 4th. It's been a while since I've been live. It's been a lot of busy, a lot of time spending time with family and everything like that. So I am glad that you guys are hanging with me at 5 o'clock. There's a few things that we're going to speak about today. Um, if you guys know, have been to the channel for a while, you guys know I always talk about things that I do not like in multiple channels and multiple videos that I've made, even some with my wife. Shout out to Shay. So I'm going to talk about more things, and I'm going to talk about certain situations as well. So before that, I want to make sure I show you guys what I have going on as far as booking wise, real quick. Shout out to you, Arshawn, with Critically Drinking. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel as well. Oh, this is Yellow Pill. I'm sorry, I'm tripping. I hit the wrong one. But hit Kevin Young Sr. as well for Yellow Pill Coffee Company. Also, Critically Drinking. This is Arshawn's as well. My bad. My apologies. I'm sorry. I'm trying to click everything quick. So make sure you subscribe to both channels. What I have going on. April 13th is Wrestle Riot. Now that's Wrestle Riot. We are back at Winneconne. It's going to be a dope show, dope event. Make sure you get your guys tickets. Now and Forever was actually last weekend. This is the only picture I have for the current show. You can look up the match that I had on the Take It Home podcast, and you can also watch the whole event on the Now That's Wrestling YouTube page. Shout out to them. I love going to Wisconsin. I love the fans and everything. So I'm excited for that. Also, a week from April 13th, we have the first C3 Ultimate Wrestling show called Still the Show, named after our C3 Ultimate Wrestling champion, D'Angelo Steele. It's going to be a dope show. It's going to be great. I'm going to give a quick run through and run down of the matches that we already have so far. We have a C3 Ultimate Wrestling Tag Team Championship match between the Spirit of Detroit versus the Heart and Soul of the Shy, the ARC. I am excited for this match. This is the first time match. We try to do a lot of first time things, and it's going to be dope, and I'm looking forward to it. Vega Venom, she challenges the champion, C3 Ultimate Wrestling Women's Champion, Renee Van Peebles. She won her eliminator match that gives her a championship opportunity. So that is going to be a great match. They had a wonderful match last year, and looking forward to the other one. We also have myself, Classic Alpha, going against Atlas J. Horn. Atlas J. Horn, he talked some stuff last week. I'm going to respond to him this week with it. Definitely got to run that back one more time. The main event is D'Angelo Steele, the C3 Ultimate Wrestling Champion, going against JPH. They fought each other before, but now we have one of the most prestigious titles on the line. So we will see how that goes. Also, there is an open challenge for our C3 Ultimate Wrestling Urban Culture Champion, Marcelo Spade. He's called out a lot of people, and we are here to see who will show up April 20th to try to dethrone the champion. Like I said, once again, this is at Still the Show, Crown Point, Indiana, April 20th. If you go to Eventbrite right now, tickets are $5 off. So at the door, it'd be $15 for adults, but if you get in on Eventbrite, it'd be $10. If you get it on at the door for kids, it's $10 tickets, but on Eventbrite, it's just $5 off. Late time. We're doing a late time. Doors open at 8. Show starts at 8:15 p.m. You can also get tickets on c3ultimatewrestling.com. All right. I'm going to read my comments real quick because I know Arshawn is probably cussing me out, but I'm gonna read my comments real quick, and then we're just gonna go straight into the list. What's the audio good? Sounds good. Sounds a little modern Alfred, but not too crazy. Hey Chris, how are you? I'm good. I'm good. I hope everything's good with you, Jamie. Says you good. What up, Robert Brown? Long time no here. I hope everything is going good with you. Everything's going great, brother. God bless you. Man, it's a lot of comments. DJ Dose in the building. We'll be in the building for the ones and twos for the show. Thank you for audio and custom music. If you guys need music, please hit him up. Arshawn says he stole the belt. Was robbed. That he is going to always say that. When you get a chance, check out the Dragon DDT. Oh, DDT. He do commentary, no wrestling. All right, I'll check that out. Shout out to Brett. I actually have your banner for your podcast as well. Hope everything is good. Make sure you guys find his channel and his streaming service with Duffy, BT, and Bobby, the wrestling show. They interview wrestlers every week. So check out them. Check out their posts on Facebook. Very dope. Shout out to you guys. Dang, comments came in quick. Everybody got something they got to say today about pet peeves. No, Sean should say to Robert Brown. Yelling in the building. 8 o'clock. Oh no. Hey man. Hey, you supposed to be there. I ain't trying to hear that, bro. I ain't trying to hear that. Tell Atlas that a classic alpha ain't scared of no car crash because he the city ain't cut fender bender for sure. Did you hear about Darby Dissing Kurt Coleman? I'll try to squeeze that in today. All right. Oh snap! Thank you for shout. No problem, man. Much love. Okay. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I'm going to go straight into some of these issues that I do have. Okay. Listen, I have a list of things that I want to say, but the first thing I want to do, I want to talk about the issue that I have currently right now. The issue that I'm actually dealing with certain situations. Hold on, let me put my background up. Because, sometimes I let things go, and then I also try to be amicable with certain things. But sometimes when you become nice and you become patient, people try to take advantage of that, or they don't take what you say, they don't take what you do seriously, and they take you as a joke. And one thing I don't play about is I don't play about God, I don't play about family, I don't play about my money. So one of the things that I want to talk about first, one of my pet peeves, man, I got a lot. Hold on, let me scroll up. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. First pet peeve. Scamming, lying, promoters, wrestlers, and gear makers. That is the first one. That's the first one. That's that issue I don't like. That's that issue I don't like. Okay. So pet peeve, scamming, lying, promoters, wrestlers, and gear makers. I don't like a liar. To be honest, if you are being honest with the situation, you're still going to have consequences, but still, why lie? Because usually when you lie, it's going to catch up. And if you're a bad liar, stuff is going to catch up to you. Or if you're scamming, or if you're playing with somebody's money. Okay. So let's go with promoters. Okay. If you are a promoter, you're supposed to have the wrestlers' money before you even get to the building. You do not wait on the gates to pay wrestlers. That's not what you do, because if you have a low gate, you're going to have people, the promoter will probably leave, or they'll try to hit you back, or they'll pay you next week and stuff like that. Stay away from these kind of promoters. Those aren't promoters at all. If you have to wait on the gate to pay wrestlers, you do not need to run a company. Because if you actually run the company correctly, you're going to run it the right way. You're going to know what you have to pay, what you have to deposit, what you have to put down. I've never had a payment problem for 5 years when I've been paying wrestlers. I've never had payment problems. We've always had their envelopes right there. They've always had envelopes, regardless if we have one person or if we have 100 people. You do not wait for the gate if you are a promoter. I understand people getting their taxes, tax time wrestling. Do what you want to do with your money, but still have morality and still have merit. And please stand on business, not the bad business. You get what I'm saying? So I do not like when promoters scam and they lie. They'll pay outside talent more than the talent that they have. Oh, well, the gate was low. Listen, your pay isn't contingent at C3 or at Now That's Wrestling for sure. It's not contingent, or even at United Wrestling Front. It's not contingent on how many people are there, unless we want to give you more money because you did a great job or the gate was excellent. But you will get paid. Your hands will get greased for sure. So I want to say that if you're dealing with promoters like that, you may need to find other promoters that'll actually pay you, that'll zell you the day of the show, that'll pay you the day of the show. These are the things that I do not like. That is a pet peeve to me, because sometimes these bad promoters who steal from people or take people money, these are the ones that leave a negative taste in everybody else's mouth when it comes to wrestling. And it becomes hard for honest and genuine promoters to run shows at venues, because a lot of people who don't know about independent wrestling, they're going to lump us all together. They're going to be like, oh, well, if this person was bad, then this person is bad too. All these other companies are bad, and we won't do venues. That's why only certain venues allow professional wrestling, because they've been burnt too many times, because promoters either stealing or they're messing up their venue, they're damaging it because they're not doing stuff with insurance, and things are messing up like that. So stop dealing with scamming and lying promoters. Straight up. That's one. That's one tidbit. Oh snap. Yep. Honestly, and it's sickening, because a lot of people have the godlike complex when you want to run a business. Just because you want to run a business doesn't mean that it's going to be well and you can treat people a certain way. You get what I'm saying? That's the bad part about the situation. And these are the ones that get promoted more, even though it's negative. They get promoted more, and more people don't want to give independent wrestling a chance because some people don't know about it. And then sometimes they'll take it out on the actually genuine people. So promoters that say, I'll get you next time, 9 out of 10, they don't have you next time, or they will pay you. But to me, that'll be a problem to me. If somebody I book, I don't have money for them, and then I say, I'm going to pay you later, I'm going to pay you next week, and things like that. I don't run those kind of games. You get what I'm saying? Because to be honest, when I promote and stuff like that, to be honest, even what I pay these wrestlers, they're doing me a favor more than anything. I can't do a show without these professional wrestlers, heavy on the professional. You get what I'm saying? I cannot do something. I can't do anything without these guys. You get what I'm saying? So that's one of my things. More people in the chat. Yep, this is definitely going to be good, because yeah, drop name Matt Williams, the club since stop it. Cat Williams. Oh, I see you got Cat Williams as your AVI. That's funny. I forgot that you still had that. He said, just kidding. Okay. Yella says, so glad my entry into the business through you, Shay, and C3. They do things the right way. And I try to. And like I said, it's a process. And a lot of people know that if I mess up, I'll admit that I messed up. If I have issues with audio, that's on me. If something is wrong with the ring, that's on me. At the end of the day, if a lot of people do not come to the show, that's on me. You get what I'm saying? And that's what you have to do. You have to be very serious when it comes to this business. Like I said, and like, not only am I just a man, I'm a deacon, I'm a husband, I'm a father, and things like that. And sometimes that's all I have is my word. And what I cannot do is I can't just mess up anything. I can't mess up other people's opportunities as well, because their name is pinned into C3 Wrestling, Ultimate Wrestling as well. You get what I'm saying? Shout out to you, Brian. Brian says promoters booking you with absolutely no story. That could be cool if they state exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? If they consistently book you, they may need you to be a role player. But I definitely get it. Or enhancement talent, jobber, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes people want that. But if it's a consistent thing, that is something that I would say, hey, I need to talk to the promoter. What do I need to do to be booked better, if that's possible? Is there anything else with this? You know what I'm saying? Arshawn, he said that. College class, I used to call him Pimpin' Kennedy McMahon, but now I'm straight Kennedy McPimpin'. I told you, you funny, Robert. Brian, not everyone can have a story. Sometimes you got to go in the ring. Yep, I definitely agree with you on that. That's what I'm saying, trying to have a clarification. They stated, but no substance. Now, if they sit here and say that they're going to try to find something for you and never do, They may not have nothing or whatever like that. And sometimes I do be honest with wrestlers and we work with stuff. I'm very transparent. You know what I'm saying? Even when people email me about bookings, I may not get to it the day of, but I make sure because I've been there emailing and messaging people for bookings because I want to be clear that I may need you or I may not need you. But I can't speak for no one else but myself. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, should have been more clear. No, no, no. It's cool, bro. It's all family. But yeah, like I said, clarification is always a big thing when it comes to these kind of things. Like if you keep telling somebody I got something for you and then nothing of substance come in, then just be honest with them and say, hey, I'm working on something. I like your business. I want you to still here, you still be here, and that kind of stuff works. You get what I'm saying? All right. Wrestlers too. Wrestlers can get this work too. They can get this work too. Um, if you are a wrestler and you accept the booking, if you no longer want to take the booking, just be honest with the booker or promoter and just say you don't want to take the booking. I wish I had that picture of the stock photo of the flat tire because I definitely would show it on this now. Listen, I understand some people have once in a lifetime opportunities to elevate themselves and to do things and to travel, but when you lie about it, that's to me that's not a good thing because you don't know who that promoter knows sometimes. And sometimes people talk amongst each other and be like, you're very unreliable because you decided that you wanted to do something else, so you forgot something. I had a similar situation with me. Somebody said they couldn't go because it was a serious car wreck, and then I'll get on Instagram, they wrestling the night of the show. So hey, that kind of stuff happens. You know, I hate it because it's just like if you can't make it or you don't have a desire to, I may not book you anymore, but be honest, stand on something because I'm sure that you do not want that kind of situation to happen to you. You know, if you're supposed to be at a show, you made it clear that you were going to the show. When you don't show up and it's not an emergency, you know, you got to eat that. You got to be responsible for that. You know, some people promote you, you know, promoting, putting you on a flyer, putting you on a card and everything like that. That costs money to a lot of people. So when you sit there and you don't show up because you don't feel like it, and then there's no clear lines of communication, you got to realize that if people don't book you, you shouldn't be trying to post later on, oh, nobody's giving me a chance. I'm like, people give you a chance, you just didn't, you blew your chance. And it happens. It happens. Hey, what happened to this person? Oh, they said that they got in a car wreck. I'm like, dog, how many car wrecks you gonna have? Like, not only should you not wrestle, you shouldn't drive a car. Like, who keeps giving you a license if you get in a wreck like every 5 months for something? And then you had a red car when I saw you, and now you sitting in a white car on spree wheels. Nobody even rocks spree wheels no more in their car. So why in the world? Like stop lying. Just be honest with yourself. Be honest with companies and stuff like that, because you never know who knows what. And all it takes is one person to say, hey, this person lied on me. Oh, well, I don't want to book a liar. Like I said, I went through it. Some people forgot that they was booked for a show of mine. I never booked them again. I didn't air them out or nothing. It's all love. I see what it is from now. You get what I'm saying? So my wife laughing in the chat. Would you book ICP if given the opportunity? Talking about Insane Clown Posse. No, I don't. I don't see a reason for me to book them. No offense to them. So Rashawn is laughing. The opponent name was car wreck. Every time, bro. Every time it's a car wreck. It's some kind of car wreck with a stock photo of a flat tire. It says literally stock photo on the freaking tire, on the freaking picture, bro. Like you don't need to drive. If you have that many accidents, like just say you're not interested in the company. I'd rather you say that than anything, especially if the match is heavily promoted. Yep, I've seen companies promote a main event that did not happen because somebody either was upset with how it was going down, or they felt like it was something better, or they even overslept. So my wife is literally laughing in the chat. Not the early 2000s. Yes, sir. Indeed. Indeed. If you ain't safe on the road, you ain't safe in the ring. Hey, that's a fact. That's a fact. If you don't even care about your own safety, what make you think you're going to care about somebody else's in the ring? I'm just saying. Thoughts on Paul Heyman getting inducted into the Hall of Fame? Definitely deserves it. Definitely deserves it for everything he's done as a manager. Uh, As far as promoting ECW, yes. As far as a businessman, nah. Like a lot of people be like, he needs to run WWE. I'm like, for what? For what? He still owes people money. But yeah, well deserved. If you can dodge a car, you can dodge an Atlas. Arshawn, what is wrong with you? Crash Holly. Look, hey, you're not supposed to look at it that closely. No. When the stock, because when you try to screenshot, sometimes you can actually see like the watermark on it. So shout out to you, Martel. Can't laughing at the DJ. Wrestlers that cancel because they aren't going over are the worst. And some of it is like that. And some of it, sometimes people do get bigger opportunities. Like for me, right? C3 Ultimate Wrestling, we are slowly but surely rising and we're getting to the top and we're trying to do our best things. But sometimes there are other companies that may give you that quote unquote exposure and you might want to do that. Just be clear and say that you want to do it. Don't just go missing and then you say you can't make it, but then you're somewhere else, At least show that much respect to the person that showed interest in you. Not saying that I'm better than anybody, but if I'm promoting, these graphics that I'm making stuff, that costs a lot of money. That can cost a lot of money, especially if I got to re-edit it and promote it. I've given people refunds because I promoted somebody that couldn't make it. These kind of things happen. He said, I can vibe with this one. Man, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, it'd be, man, I want to say more. Heyman creative ideas change wrestling. Yes, it did. But as far as owning the company, I will not give him the keys to it. I will not give him the keys. Dixie Carter got no show by Scott Hall. Rest in peace, Jeff Hardy. Yep, same thing. Jeff Hardy was on some drugs and when he was wrestling for Impact. Once when he went against Matt Morgan, and then when he went against Sting. Man, I forgot to do my Sting tribute today because I had to go in because everybody started commenting. I'll do it later. Y'all know I got to give a tribute to Sting. Sting is one of the reasons why I do Stinger splashes. And, I don't consider my no-selling hulking up. I call it more of the Sting thing. I love Sting versus Ric Flair. I love Sting versus Vader, Great American Bash. I love a lot of his stuff, man. I got DVDs and everything. And hopefully I get to meet him one of these days. Shout out to you, C-Red. Heyman was the promoter classic was talking about early. Yeah, it was. Because a lot of people said that he used to scam to get people's tickets. They used to have different names. They were going off of illegal names, fraudulent checks, and everything. Yeah, sure. A manager, a personality in professional wrestling. Yeah, sure. For even ECW, because ECW had a name. They even worked with Raw a couple of times in other companies, and it all works. But at the end of the day, would I give him the keys and give him some money to run his own company? No, sorry, Bob. So Robert Brown says, what up, Shay? All right, gear makers. Let's talk about it. I know a lot of wrestlers have been burned by gear makers. Now, let me be honest here. I'm gonna give somebody some advice. If you are going to get gear from a gear maker, I recommend that you always do goods and services. I would never do friends and family ever again for anything with transactions. I would never. I'm getting to it, Brett. I promise I'm getting to it. I would never do friends and family because you will not get that money back. Now, as a gear maker, I understand why you want to do friends and family because I'm sure sometimes people want to renege on money and things like that. But nah, I would rather do goods and services. Me, on myself, I will be a patient person when it comes to gear. But you have to have a clear line of communication. You guys know the situation I had 2 years ago with Champion City Gear with that guy. He kept lying about stuff. He kept saying he was doing my gear. Then he tried to disrespect me. And then I had screenshots of the situation that I had with him. I had to go to PayPal and basically I got their money back. So don't get gear from Champion City Gear. Now, I'm going to say this now. If you get gear from this person, that is your choice. I'm not going to ridicule you. Maybe you had good business, but I literally just got off the phone, PayPal today about a situation that happened. Okay, a lot of people in the Midwest, they know who Steve Wilson is, Congo Kong. He's a gear maker. I've been having some small issues with when it comes to money and payment. Okay, so my take on it is this, right? He said that it takes 6 to 8 weeks for basically the gear to be made, right? I paid in October. I contacted him in February. You get what I'm saying? So my take on it is this: I'm very patient because I do know that these people have families. They got to order the material, and sometimes there's back orders. But when you tell me it's been about 3 months, and you have not hit me back, and I've had to hit you back, then it's a problem. So that's why this is going into with scamming gear makers, right? So I do have some things that I do want to show you guys. It may not be in order, but I want to be clear. If you get gear from him, fine, cool. If he was fine for you, that's good. It didn't work out for me, and I'm still dealing with some issues. So I'm just letting you guys know that right now. So basically, you probably can't see it, but basically, this was the some of the stuff that we went over. We went over measurements. We went over all this stuff, right? We went over a lot of things, right? So it says 6 to 8 weeks. Pictures, like as you can see the dates, like October. I can't see it that well because I didn't in advance extend my screen, but I'm sure you guys can see it a little better. So we're talking about the transactions, we're talking about all of this stuff. So eventually I'm asking him like December, hey, what's going on? He got sick, blah 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 blah. Like, okay, cool, you're sick. All right, I hope you feel better. I'm very patient with you when the situations. So then I keep asking. He's like, I need more time. I need more time. Oh, I care about my quality. I care about this and that. So you guys can that I'm at this final part. I'm asking him, hey, what's going on? I was like, hey man, it's taking too long. I'd rather get my refund. Hey, you're right, but you need to wait more weeks. So I'm like, okay, 3 months and more weeks, I want my money back. So then he was like, I'm going to give you a partial because I ordered the material. Fam, fam, you're not going to send me that material. You're just going to keep it so you can do something else. So I wanted my whole refund. So we went through PayPal. I'm trying to hide it. We went through PayPal, and basically he did send some of the money, but I don't want some of the money. I want all of my money because I sent you my money months ago, and I did goods and services because of this. He told me that basically it'll be a little more because he didn't want to cover the fee. I said I'll cover the fee of goods and services because just in case something like this happens, when you do family and friends, most likely you will not get your money back. And then even with goods and services, you have to, if you have until like 180 days to put out a case. And I think that's what he was waiting on. So I wouldn't get the money and he would give me the gear whenever he wants to. So remember that you have 180 days. You're supposed to have 180 days between the transaction that you did through goods and services until the actual action happens. So what happened was there was a case. The case was in there. I also was honest. I said he did give me some of it. I want all the money. Case happens. He stated that he was going to give me the money back, the rest of the money. So I look at my PayPal. I was supposed to get it back like last week. Then all of a sudden it was canceled. Call PayPal. PayPal says that the account that's hooked up to his PayPal basically had insufficient funds, so I wouldn't be able to get my $80. So homie took the money from this PayPal account, took it out, so I wouldn't get the rest of my money. I've been with PayPal for 12 years, right? Because I've done business with PayPal myself because with wrestling tickets. I used to sell my tickets through PayPal. I do Eventbrite now, but through PayPal. If I had to do refunds, PayPal. Cancel show, PayPal. People buying tickets, selling stuff, eBay, Mercari, anything, PayPal. So I know how this stuff works. So they told me that they will give me a credit, and then now they're waiting on him to respond. If he doesn't respond or give a good answer, they're going to lock him out of his account. Listen, this is what I'm saying. It's to the point where I don't want. The camera's going out. It's to the point where I don't even want to wait for more gear. Okay, it's glitching out. I don't even want to wait for new gear. Like I'll get some eventually, but now I'm just good with what I have now because the gear that I should have had it twice already. You get what I'm saying? But always do goods and services when you're doing business with professional wrestling and stuff like that. Because what the game is some of them, not all, some of them, they use your money to pay for the back order from other orders because they may have done something for a bigger wrestler or a bigger superstar. You get what I'm saying? So now you're put on the back burner. Like I'm saying, waiting more weeks for something that should have been that I should have got before 2024 even peeped its head is crazy to me. So I'm gonna read some comments about it because wow, y'all, hold up. He said, "Bam, bam." Yeah, said yeah. He took care of some people, but some people he did not take care of. You have an unnatural allegiance to losers, and it's not like you, Chris Classic on Gear Makers. I can't say you, bro. Hate that people think they're too good to make you get. And that's my thing. If you say, listen, if you say 8 weeks, I'm going to expect it to be here in 10 weeks. I'll give you 2 weeks because stuff do happen. Work, being sick, emergencies. Sometimes the material doesn't come in on time. Like I definitely understand that. Like he said 6 to 8, and I was definitely like, okay, well maybe 10 weeks. That's just what I am. That's just what I thought. So Queen Shay, who you think will be Ben Sting last opponent, if I may ask? Oh, you already answered it. Okay. Yeah, let's say that's one hell of a 6 to 8 weeks. Arshawn said 11 days. The only people in ECW Paul Heyman took care of was Bam Bam and Dusty Rhodes. He says, Arshawn says, umpteen hours. Mitch better have my money. It's always a dang Steve. Look, stop. Skeevy Steve. With money issues like this, we probably gonna see some Suge Knight figures in the wrestling business. Hey, you do have some. I will say that you do have some. Rose Criminal. When the next time you going live? I don't know. I had time today, so I definitely wanted to talk about like a few topics. So this is a safe space. Robert Brown on the spot. That's how I Goldberg, AJ. No rhyme or reason, just history, if that makes sense. So yeah. So like I said, please avoid scammers. Please avoid scammers. Avoid scammers. Avoid scamming line promoters that don't have your money, that wait on the gate. Avoid wrestlers that be lying, who don't be clear and be lying and talk about they got all kind of car wrecks and stuff like that. If they're not at driving school, but they had another wrestling show, they need to go somewhere with that. Be careful of these gear makers. Most gear makers do say family and friends. Please do goods and services. I say pay the little extra fee because you can get all of that money back, honestly, if you do goods and services and stuff like that. Like I recommend that. Like if my situation could help a lot of people, then I'm fine with that because I'm gonna get my stuff at the end of the day. So before I go on the next topic, I'm gonna read a few more comments. Shane, I agree. Sometimes you gotta tell New Jack T. But yeah, that's one of them. If I offend anybody, next one. Anyway, bad communication. Bad communication is a bad pet peeve that I hate. Promoter, if you need something from the wrestler, I would please let the wrestler know what you need. Also, let them know what call time is, what time things need to be set up, what they can do, what they cannot do, who they can bring, who they cannot bring, stuff like that. What they can and cannot do, what they can say and what cannot say. You have to say that as a promoter. If you are a wrestler, you have to be clear that if you are late, and punctual is somewhere on my list for pet peeves. If parking, exactly. Good job, Brian. Speak about parking. Like I had to tell everybody about the parking at the venue because it's a little different from where I was at Gene Shepherd, because Gene Shepherd had a lot of parking, and we have a lot of stadium parking, but still some people do not they get lost even though it's around the corner. So I always try to do a video, but make sure what they can say, what they can't say, what you need from them in their match. And even wrestlers, if you're late, please let them know you're late, especially if they rely on you for a ring crew. Let them know you're late. If there's an accident, if you don't have the stock photo for the car wreck or whatever, just be clear that you're not going to make it. Be honest. Accidents do happen. Emergencies do happen. I'm not sitting here saying that if you have an emergency, I got to be the first person that you call, but at least call like the next day or whatever. Hopefully everything works out. But you have to be clear on these kind of things. As a promoter, I got to be clear that if my show is supposed to start at 1, starts at 1. You know what I'm saying? Wrestlers have to be ready. Everybody has to be ready for everything. Tickets have to be sold and everything and stuff like that. Payday. Hey, what is your pay? Okay, well, I'll pay you this. These kind of things. Hey, if you need to leave as a wrestler because you double shot, tell people. You got to tell them that, because what if they need you for something? You know what I'm saying? Promoters ask things for wrestlers. Wrestlers ask promoters for things, and sometimes bad communication is what messes it up. I'm gonna go to some comments. Oh man, yeah. Rest in peace, New Jack. Yeah, the parking. I got a bad pet peeve. Talent leaving, drinking before the ring is tore down. I do know that people party. As long as it's not in the match, I don't really have an issue with it. Just my wife said, did they bring her one? So, but no, I definitely get it, especially with the leave part. Like if there's like a clarification that, hey, I may need extra hands to get rid because we might have ran overtime, and that's my part. But I might need your help or something like that. But if you just leave, then that's an issue. And sometimes saying that you got to leave as soon as you come in, that could be a problem too, especially if you showed up late. Like if you showed up late and then as soon as you come in, hey, I got to leave early too. That's red flags for a lot of people. Like, okay, well, you don't care to try to put in work or anything like that. And I know that ring crew is something that is very debatable on what it is with professional wrestling and promoters and what paying dues is. I know a lot of people are very divisive when it comes to that. So one of these days I'm gonna have some vets up here and we will talk about that kind of situation. So have you ever done a show at 1 a.m.? No, I never done like an early morning. I do morning shows, like afternoon shows, if anything, but I never did like something as early as 1 a.m. If I'm staying to clean up what I played in, you should do the very same. No one is too good for paying dues. And like I said, I will talk to other vets about that because, like I said, everybody has their own set of paying dues. Me personally, regardless of how long I've been in the business, if I got to stack chairs and put chairs up, if I got to help with ring crew, if I got to carry stereo stuff, if I got to help with certain things, I'm going to do that. That's me. I've been blessed to have wrestlers who have been very vocal about not doing ring crew for other companies come in and help me set up stuff because they believe in me as much as I believe in them. But that's my take. Some people have different takes on what ring crew is or what they should do, or they should pay other people to do that. But me, like I said, I can only speak for myself when it comes to that situation. Uh, Let the wrestlers know who needs new promo photos as a photographer. I honestly don't know all the wrestler names, and they leave before the show is over and get there late. Okay, good job, Josh. Shout out to you. Friendly Chops Photography. That's your business. Shout out to him. He takes pictures of wrestlers, still shots, and everything. You need promo pictures. They do have some photographers. They're there to take pictures. So I take pictures almost every time I see Josh because I want to see the different poses I can do, what can work, what cannot work, but that's just me. Promo pictures should be updated, especially if you look different every year. I know a lot of people don't want to do that because maybe they're not photogenic, but you have to do that kind of stuff. Promoter asks you for a promo pic. The promoter does not want to fish through your Facebook, your MySpace, your Tagged, your Black Planet, your Yahoo, your back page. They don't want to go through all of this stuff to try to find a picture of you, especially if you're in like a one-on-one match. It does get ridiculous sometimes. You'd be surprised how many old photos I've taken from somebody because I really wanted to promote the match. And this show was like, this picture was 10 years ago, and this person don't even look like that. You'd be surprised on what I have done with magic and editing and stuff like that. If a wrestler has a family emergency and left, cuz that'd be yeah. If it's a family emergency, of course. Like, listen, I got a family myself, so if I gotta leave, I gotta leave, and they should understand that. But you know, some just like car wrecks, a lot of people have a lot of family emergencies, man. Like Ali, your pops passed like 3 times. Like how many times did he go to the crossroads so he won't be lonely? Like that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out how many times this man went to the crossroads. The chicken crossed the road. How many times did your dad go across the crossroads? Like some people, like I said, the car wrecks, family members passing away 3 more times and everything like that. Like come on, man. There's only one person that did the resurrection that we worrying about right now. You know what I'm saying? But come on, man. It's crazy to me. Josh is great. Yeah, Josh is great. I've taken 0 bumps and I helped take down. Yeah, like you get what I'm saying? Like one time when I was in Hammond, fans was helping clean up when we left. That's how good a show we did. And I always remember that because I would never like get on a microphone and say, hey, clean up, help us clean, or hell, could you? They literally just got up, cleaned up, put the chairs up and everything. Man, I hope you don't want to Rick. Want to Rick. Man, look. In your experience, which match between the triple threat or fatal 4-way is harder? Fatal 4-way is they're more complex to me because you know it's more people. The more people, the more sometimes you got to think about what you want to do and how you want to contemplate it. I love triple threats more than anything, more than fatal 4-ways. But I had a 5-way this weekend, so check on the channel and let me know what you think about that. So, yeah, but bad communication is always like a bad thing. Like even as like a promoter, sometimes bad communication with the venue can be a problem. You know, like I said, I had issues with Hammond. You know, I don't want to revisit that. But you know, see red, yellow, y'all know what happened over there. Y'all know what happened over there. It wasn't even just bad communication. It was just ignorance at its finest. So I will say that about that, and I will move on to the next topic. I need to shrink my setup myself. Now I got lights too, and it's gonna be 420 and in the evenings. Hey, calm down. Hey, calm down with that 420 talk, man. All right, next pet peeve. Shout out to y'all for rocking with me. Lack of self-promotion and investing. Let me get some water real quick. Got hot in here. I didn't drink water like that. Anyway, this is more towards the wrestler than the promoter. Now, let me say this for as far as a promoter. I'm promoting. I have to promote my company. I have to make sure that the fans and even people who never seen wrestling before knows that my company exists. I'm the one that has to go out and pay this stuff and do that. And I'm not saying this as a complainer. This is what I'm supposed to do. I cannot take that out on a wrestler really about certain things. Now, if I ask you to promote like once a week, that's one thing and you don't want to do that. But I won't just really just take that out because that's my decision on what I want to do with C3 Ultimate Wrestling, what my wife wants to do with C3 Ultimate Wrestling. That's our choice. You get what I'm saying? I've been in spots where people blame the wrestlers for their lack of people coming in. So I will say that as far as a promoter, you got to go all in for your company. Like I think that we have one of the best companies, right? It is my responsibility to tell the world that, to let the world know, because they may not know what C3 Ultimate Wrestling is. But when you're done talking to me, I want you to know what it is. And then when you come to a show, I want you to stay. You get what I'm saying? So I've had new people come in. They ask me about my Facebook, about the website. How could I keep in touch? Like I've done these kind of things before. And as a wrestler, I was a wrestler, obviously, before I was a promoter. You learn how things go and how you should carry yourselves and stuff like that. So I will say that as far as the wrestler, you have to learn how to promote yourself though. Okay, the promoter is going to promote their company, right? That's what they're going to do. Me, I like promoting mine different from a lot of people. For example, you guys know that I usually name my shows after some of the wrestlers that we have that are booked. Our C3 Ultimate Wrestling Champion is D'Angelo Steele. The show is called Steele the Show, named after him. When Just Amazing was the champ and then everything was going on with him, we named the show The Amazing World, named after him. When Cell Block was working for us, it was called Highway to Cell. when Miles Mercer, the king of the whole show, Miles Mercer was the champion at C3 Ultimate. Kingdom Come. When Caesar Dragon was a C3 Ultimate Wrestling, we had the Ranger Zone. So I do try to promote wrestlers to a certain things because not a lot of companies are naming shows after the wrestlers and stuff like that. And I think it's a dope thing. You know, my wife came up with she came up with Still the Show. I'm going to give her a credit always for that. But that's just one of those things that I do as the promoter. Now, as a wrestler, you have to promote yourself via social media, uh, going to shows, showing people who you are, letting people know who you are, doing promos, matches, not just match packages. A lot of people do match packages, and I understand because some promoters will not look at a whole match. I understand that. But you have to promote yourself. You have to. You have to promote yourself with social media. You got YouTube. You got a whole bunch of things. I don't know. A lot of people, they're socially awkward, but you can still work on that. You can work on promos. You can invest in gear. Gear is very important, guys. Get you some gear. Get some gear. If you don't have gear, get something that complements your character. Don't just get something because it complements you. That's two different things. Complimenting your character and complimenting you is two different things. And some guys do a great job with it. I promise. Jonte does a great job with it. Tony Thunder does a great job with it. A lot of people do a great job with it. You know what I'm saying? That's investing. Investing in yourself. Training. Going to training, listening to the old trees, listening to the guys that can drop knowledge and stuff like that. That, like I said, I've always had like a learning tree when I first started. And I see that it's a lot less because they don't like how some people act because they're not being respected, even from the promoter, because these people like what's hot and flashy. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a serious issue. That's why, like, I can talk to Atlas, so I can talk to C Red. Willie will be in the chat. I'll talk to Martel, who says great quote. Appreciate you. I could talk to a lot of people who been in the business for a long time, who've done it the safe way, and they don't even come outside for only a few shows because they do not like what the product is. You get what I'm saying? So always remember that you should promote yourself and invest. You know, as a promoter, I'm supposed to promote the show. If you're on the show, then sure, that's promotion, but you always have to promote yourself. You know, you'd be surprised how many people just walk up and be like, hey, my name is this, and I charge this much to be booked. And it's just like, who are you? You know, a lot of the vets, they used to ask people who were quote unquote talented in the ring, who are you? And people would get stumped with that. They had no idea. They could not speak or say what their character is, and that vet lost interest. Like, that is like the line of investment. If I go up to you and say, who are you? Who do you represent? And you cannot do that, then you have to do some more investing. That first and last name thing in era of wrestling, it works only for a few people. It doesn't work for everybody. Don't work for everybody, especially if you're not good at promos. Now, my thing with promos, you could do a 30-second promo. You could do a minute promo. Me, I love doing promos to the point I be thinking I overdo it. I be doing 2-minute promos, 3-minute promos. I be having video clips. Like if we got like a past or something, I do video clips and stuff like that. Like even what I'm gonna drop this weekend, I got video clips. I got a whole bunch of stuff because what I want to do is I'm not only just promoting myself, I'm promoting my match. Why do I have beef with this person? Why does this person have beef with me? Even when I was going against the Spectre, Jaden Mercer, he made a video when we went against each other for the third time on a one-on-one. And it was a dope video, and it had a lot of views on it. Because sometimes people don't want to go back and look at full matches and stuff. But if you can look at a few minutes or whatever like that, you'll be like, hey, man, I want to do it. When I go to work, one of my homies like, hey, man, you lost to the Spectre this week? Like, because he saw the videos, he saw the packages and stuff like that. You know, my investing is very, like, my thing is I want to be fruitful with what I invest. You get what I'm saying? I want to be fruitful. I want people to be like, oh, that's Classic Alpha. He faced this person. He faced that person. Oh, if I need a promo, I can go to Classic Alpha and he can promote the whole show. When I did United Wrestling Front, I promoted who was going to be there, who was going to perform and things like that, because Tony Thunder, it's all love for me. The man showed me the ropes of Detroit and everything like that. And I'm like, oh, cool. This is a celebration. It's not just a wrestling show. It was a lot of stuff going on over there. So I'm gonna go back to some and read Roberts. Can a 5-on-5 be a hard match to do? It depends on who you work with. Brian says promoting myself has helped me as well as help other companies since I've gambled on myself. Social media promoting is so easy these days, man. It's hard, but learning, making it a discipline. Yeah, it's easier than what people think. I do think that a lot of people, no, it's awkward to try to promote yourself. Like, trust me, I know I'm a promoter. It's kind of hard to like walk up to people sometimes and say, "Hey, I'm a wrestler. Come to my show." Like sometimes it is awkward because you don't just walk up to some people. Sometimes some people just like, "Oh, you crazy?" And it's happened before to me. Like it happens, but I had to get through it. I'm like, the more people who know, the more people will show, and I truly believe that. You go in a room with 1,000 people and you got 1,000 flyers. Like you bet they're going to have some people. You're going to have a lot of people that's going to show. Honestly, I truly, the more who know, the more who show. Who you think gonna induct Heyman into the Hall of Fame? Hey, it's a lot of people that could induct him. Hey, for sure. It won't be Brock Lesnar, unfortunately. I try to keep it all promo photos and as many wrestling photos available at times. Anyone needs stuff for self promotion, and that's good. And that's what I'm saying. That's even with self promotion. Like we see Josh, we see you, and it's just like, okay, cool. Like you taking pictures of me and my kids and alpha gear and stuff like that with superhero stuff, and I use it to sell my merchandise and stuff like that because I want to promote what I have, because that money is going to my house, is going to my family and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? So WWE need to stop having these long title reigns. Yes and no. Yeah, yes and no. I will say that Chris Jericho needs to retire. I'm gonna leave Jericho alone today. I'm definitely gonna leave him alone. I love doing the music. It's a new lane for me, and I hope I can continue to improve on the production. I saw an opening to offer my help. I have a new circle of friends, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you too, man, because you are passing out flyers. You are doing a lot. You know, your wife cooks very good food, man. I ain't never had no chicken chili before. I'm just saying that was good. I thank you for being a part of the family, the C3 family. Thank you for your help. Like I said, with audio issues, and I would tell the wrestlers it was my fault. I can't sit here and blame anybody else. It doesn't matter that it worked great on Friday. If it doesn't work on Saturday, I gotta eat that. You get what I'm saying? So next topic. Thank you guys for rocking with me. Like I said, it's a few, but we gonna just keep going. All right. I know some guys will agree, some guys will not agree. My wife is saying, you sending shots at Jericho? One more thing on that. Ain't Jericho no more? He evolved from Jericho to Jericho. No. I'm a mixed bag with title reigns. I enjoy build up talent, but definitely like seeing others get spotlight. Yeah, it's like a hit or miss. All right, seminars. All right, so 2 weeks ago, I talked to one of my homies and a couple wrestlers. We was vibing in the back, and I'm letting him know I'm talking about the seminars now if he's not in the chat. And yeah, seminars are very. I'm gonna say it the right way. Hold on. I don't really care for seminars. I do think that some are very important. I do think that some people do care for the business. And one of my things with professional wrestling is I try my best to either make it better than what it is or leave something that could help the next person that's next to me, the next generation, anybody in future, past, or whatever like that. That's what I try to do. Seminars usually are a business move to make money because sometimes, people do want to be around these wrestlers, and you can learn from some of these guys. And you can also learn to not pay these people to tell people something that's not going to help. I've seen I went to one. I went to one seminar because it was free. I went to one, and the way the man was doing the seminars, I did not like it. And I remember that he asked me, "Did I ever want to go to WWE?" I said no because I want to be with my family. And he said, oh, "Okay." And then he went to the next person. So he wasn't even signed to WWE at the time or anything like that. But it was just like the practice matches. A lot of the guys needed help with certain things with practice matches. Usually, practice matches are like a month, a week, a month, a minute. I'm gonna say a month. A B2B. That's all, folks. A minute or two. And a lot of people were sloppy. They was unsafe. They needed help. They needed guidance. And this guy did nothing. He did nothing at all. He was like, "Okay, good job. Next two." So I'm like, to me, that left a nasty taste in my mouth because I was still growing as a worker, but I knew that when stuff is sloppy and stuff is bad, and you was just obviously here for a payday. Some of these practice matches, some wrestlers, they don't even pay attention to the wrestlers that's in the practice matches, and then they'll say a good job. Like I've seen this at other shows and stuff like that, and it's just like, okay, you're just here for the extra money. You're getting booked and the extra money. But then you do have some that actually do care about the business. Like I don't mind hearing stories about certain things and all of that, but still show me something that could help me. At least act like, how we go to the job sometime and act like we enjoy what we're doing. At least do that. Like don't sit here and have people do drills and then you're not paying attention to them. And then they're doing it sloppy. And then you say good job. And then they actually run with that. And then when somebody says, hey, that's not cool, you're going to be like, oh, well, this person said this. Like some people just want to make money and that's fine. But still, I'd rather see like a Q&A or something like that than seminars for people who don't really care about trying to help the future and stuff like that. And then we'll go on Twitter or X or wherever social media platform and talk about nobody listens. I'm like, people do listen. It's just that you don't know about the product that you put out. Like there are some guys that do care about it. When I do my own thing with shows and buildings, I want people that I can rely on that can talk to people that's going to stick to their ribs. C-Red, and Atlas, a Backwoods, a Willie, like guys that have so much information. That's why I'm blessed that these guys come on the platform sometimes. We talked about what a heel is. We talked about what a face is. We talked about the current state of wrestling multiple times. We've agreed on stuff. We've disagreed on stuff. But I think that you guys will get more stuff off of what they say than these seminars that cost a lot of money and stuff like that. Like some kids paid their last to hear from somebody that they grew up and listened to. And for some of them to be shunned off of that information, that's low-key a scam to me. So that's what I'm going to say about the seminars. Brian says it's a shot. Yes, it is. It is a shot in the dark sometimes because sometimes it's not even just, they don't even do practices. Sometimes it's just story time. And that can be cool too. But still, I want to be motivated. I want to learn something. And, sometimes, especially all this money that I got to give. And, like I said, the one I went to, it was free for me. I would have never paid for what I had to go through because it was free. Because to me, he worried more about people's t-shirts than the actual trying to help people and stuff like that. Like, what does this person's WWE t-shirt have to do with what does that have to do with him trying to learn from you? And then you wasn't even at WWE at the time, and then you got upset when I said I didn't want to go. So you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it was no substance at all. It was no substance. Also, when you get a chance, check out some wrestling reviews. No dirt sheets, wrestlers, Montana and Pharaoh. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to come back to these comments. I've seen two seminars by a top local referee and one by Eugene. I thought both did really well showing proper way to do things. They also took time to fix issues. Yeah, some guys are very good with this stuff. And if the referee is who I think it is, for sure, someone who cares about the business, who does a lot of things for people, helps people out, tries to make people relax, gives 100% on his job. And if it's this guy who I think you're talking about, we talked about the business a little bit Saturday when I was in Wisconsin. But sure, that's the kind of thing that I would want to leave. I would want to make sure that whatever I create through a seminar, it helps the next wave. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that a lot of the guys or the gals, they do that sometimes. Sometimes they just sit in a chair and then just talk about what they used to do. That's just me. All right, next topic. Shout out to you guys for rocking with me. Oh lordy. All right. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Oh lordy. Training schools that don't train are here for cash grabs. This low key, it's kind of like the seminars that I was talking about. Is definitely like the seminars that I was talking about. Listen, you have a lot of people that want to wrestle, a lot of people that will do anything to be a wrestler, a lot of people that will train to be a wrestler that will give their money their last. They will take money out of their firstborn's mouth. No infant milk for them. And they want to train. For real. They will quit their job. They will do all of this stuff. And a lot of these people, not all, but some, not all, but some, they just take people money and they are bad trainers. You could be an awesome wrestler, a phenomenal wrestler, and you can be a bad trainer at the same time. There's no such thing as just because you're a great wrestler that, and this is what I hate about the landscape of wrestling sometimes, is that just because somebody's featured on TV, they quote unquote made it, that means that what they say is law, and it's furthest from the truth. So that's what I'm saying. And I'm going to say it one more time because I want people to understand this. Just because you are a great and phenomenal wrestler does not make you a great trainer at all. And I know a lot of people, we want to make money. I want to make money off of wrestling. I want to provide my family with a lot of stuff with wrestling and stuff like that. And slowly but surely, and Lord willing, of course, we are working on that. But at the same time, if somebody is not safe, why would I book them to go against somebody that could be hurt them, let alone, God forbid, kill them? You know what I'm saying? Or somebody who's not training psychology. Psychology should be like one of the first things that should be taught in wrestling outside of just the bumps. You know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of these people come out of nowhere to get a ring, they get a building, and they train people, but they don't really train people. They train them the same way. They do the same moves. It's the same thing because that's the only thing they did. And sometimes people open companies because they were wayward with what company was training them, and they didn't like that. And they felt that they had enough information to try to train somebody else. But then when you do realize that some people are meant to work like this, and this other person is meant to work like that. I've seen some shows where everybody from start to finish does the same thing, same arm drag spot, international spot from start to finish. And they all trained by the same person. And it's just like, it's different from that. It's levels to that. You get what I'm saying? You do that at practice matches, and then you can incorporate that into your move set. But some people, they just want the cash. And some of these guys, they pay money to get trained. Then they say they're trained by this person, and then they go and hurt themselves somewhere else. And then when they ask where they get trained at, now there's beef between these two people because this person said that they was ready for training. Or maybe the wrestler just left. Like, if wrestlers are not ready to be wrestling, they do not need to be wrestling. If they need to train more, yes. If they need to run the ropes, yes. Cardio, all of that stuff. They need to work on that stuff. You need to tell these people that. Okay, cool. They're paying you money. Cool. We all want to get paid. But still, there's merit and there's livelihood to happen. Like, what we do, we can literally get hurt off of simple things. But then when we come in unprepared, that's a red flag in itself. I made a video last year about these people who don't even have training schools. They got students. And I'm still looking for those students, by the way. But still, you have so many people that say that they're trying to help. And I know there are some. Shout out to Sam Knight, who brings carloads with him certain areas and let them know about the business and how things work. But there are just some people that just want money. And I hate that because they don't care about if this person learns or not. Some people will literally just take money from somebody and not teach them nothing. And then just let them, like, they literally getting paid to book, basically. They're paying to be booked. And that's not good, especially if they're not ready. I got some comments on this. Oh, man, I like comments. Glam God, Xavier Michael, shout out to you. Thank you, sir. You rule too. They don't teach psychology, to my knowledge, anymore. Some do. But a lot of them don't. Because my thing is, the landscape of wrestling is it's changing, though. And I'm going to talk about that later, which I like. The landscape is changing. So I will talk about that a little later. Your classic is by chance you going to see the new Knuckles movie. It's not a movie. It's a mini series. I think it's on Paramount Plus. I don't have Paramount Plus, but if I did, I would definitely look at it. It's like a mini series that they're doing for Knuckles. Said Bingo, appreciate you. If a wrestler was to pull a Jeff Hardy, Victor Rose, CM Punk, and Media Scrum, how would you handle them? They wouldn't be booked anymore. Then I also have to do a public apology to everybody that I wouldn't even let him wrestle. Like he wouldn't even got into a ring, and I would have to apologize to people, offer refunds if they paid to see the event. I'd have to eat that. That's my responsibility. That's the part of good communication. But going back to training schools, yeah, training schools, you're supposed to be trained. You're supposed to make sure these people, some people graduate and stuff like that. Shout out to what they do in ACW and everything. When the kids or the rookies are ready, they graduate. That means they're ready. And for what I've even seen, they've done great. When True Privilege, when they do things and they give people plaques and stuff, they be ready. That's a good thing. They just gotta try to find their proper footing in professional wrestling. But some people, they just want to make money off of this. You get a building, you get the ring, you train these people, they run stuff, and sometimes they're just not that good. But they're literally paying. They're paying you to be booked, and that's just something that I can't do because, like I said, safety is very important to me. And if this person is not ready, they could hurt me. They can hurt themselves. They can hurt whoever they face. And like I said, what we do is dangerous already. And when I say this, I don't say this to be like, just love and respect what we do because this is my choice. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's forcing me to go out and do it. But what we don't want to do is we don't want to add more to that pile of the, injury list. Which do you prefer, Hill? I love being a babyface. I've been a babyface majority of the time I've wrestled. The training academy my son was going to and going back to have multiple trainers with different styles. And that's what it is. Usually the good trainers, they have multiple trainers and stuff like that. Me, I was trained under Ivan Tix, aka Shot Town T. That's my brother right there. And I love everything that he has done for me and a lot of wrestlers. And to be honest, he trained us. It wasn't even for the money. It wasn't even for the money. He would literally give us the clothes off of his back. And like I said, when my younger brother passed away, he did a benefit show, so his daughter could get some money and stuff like that. Like looked out for my family and stuff, and I had to look out for his as well when he was dealing with a death in his family. So, like I said, like some people, and he showed me how to do more big stuff and how to do things. And he had guys that were my size or bigger and stuff like that, and we would train and we would do things like that. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, there one trainer can teach somebody multiple styles. Multiple trainers can teach people different styles. But yeah, that's how I learned. Like the simple bumps, the stuff that I do, I learned it from him. Xavier says, I was told by my trainer when I was training that if you really want to impress a vet, work the crowd, use ring psychology, and entertain them is more as much or more as the guys who are doing all the flips and flops. Yes. When fans pay for stuff, sometimes they do want to be interacted with. They want to feel good. You want to make what I do is I want people to be happy that they're there. So I come out, make some noise, get behind me, because I love y'all. Y'all love me too and stuff like that. I try to get people to wake up and stuff like that. You want people to be like, hey, this match was so good, or I shook this wrestler's hand. I want to come back. You get what I'm saying? Flips and all of that, cool. That's fine. If that's what people do, that is their choice. They are free to do that. You get what I'm saying? But how do you incorporate that or whatever like that? I be wanting to make sure that people are happy that they spent money on the show just to see my match, just to see the whole show. So that's how I feel about that situation. What did you think about the series Heels? I didn't see it. I didn't have the apps. Look, man, it's too many apps out here, yo. Like, it's too many apps. Like, what I have is Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, Peacock, and I guess YouTube if you want to call YouTube an app. YouTube is like a conglomerate itself. But yeah, it's too many apps. A lot of them need to merge and do multiple things like Peacock did, because to me, it's too many apps, man. I haven't seen it. I did want to see it, but it's like I don't want to just subscribe to something for one show. It has to be something that I really like and really enjoy, All right, got some more. I got a few left. Going into the cash cap is like lack of safety awareness, and I've always talked about that. I think that one of the things that we need to realize is that safety is very important when it comes to professional wrestling. Uh, to take moves properly, to bump properly, to be at the right spot properly. Those things are very important when it comes to professional wrestling, and I think that some people put that on the back burner because they want to go viral or they want to take pictures and they want to get booked. You know, you can go viral and not even be a trained wrestler and be booked more than a trained wrestler nowadays. When you look at the Walmart boys, and one of them is supposed to be allegedly trained, and then you got Superhuman, a guy that does dives on cheese graters and broken glass and microwaves and stuff like that. You got people that do things like that, and they get booked, and there's no merit. There's nothing. It's just like you put these people that's not even considered wrestlers in our locker room, and you treat them like superstars, and you pay them like superstars too, and the wrestlers just looking at it like, wow, like all I had to do was like risk my body and get stitched up and not even actually properly trained. It's a slap in the face to a lot of people when you book this kind of situations, you know. Comes to death matches. I'm not even big on death matches because of the I won't even say high risk, high reward. I would say the torture and the execution that you're going through. I'm just not big on those or whatever like that, you know. Like even the stuff that even Darby Allin was doing in this match when he was Timmy was Sting and the Young Bucks. I was like, did you really have to go against the glass? Did you really have to fall on glass? Like, did you really have to take this spot? Like to me, you didn't need to do that. You know, you're young, you still have a lot to live for, and you're doing dangerous stuff like that. So I've always said stuff like that, even moves, flips, big moves, power bombs, power drivers, spinning power drivers, F5 counter to the, you know, Canadian destroyer. Those moves are dangerous, and it's just like you have to place them right or don't do them at all. You don't have to do them because everybody else is doing it, because now it's repetitive. I know flip floppers they can use pull the crowd CK for example. Yeah, but CK can work. You know what I'm saying? The CK does things, high risk things, but he doesn't have to. He wants to because he can. It's not something that he solely has to rely on. You get what I'm saying? He doesn't have to rely on it or whatever like that. He's been on his feet a lot of times when he wrestled too. And the crowd loves what he does, especially with Evie. You know, a lot of people can't even pull that off. You know what I'm saying? I hope they put Team Chaotix, Mighty, Victor, Espion, Charmy into the Knuckle series. I don't know. I just seen maybe Rouge the Bat, but I haven't seen anybody else really. Besides Kid Cudi for some reason. The lack of safety awareness. Okay. I'm gonna speak on this and then I'm gonna quickly go to the other ones because I'm gonna wrap up soon. Fans versus wrestlers on social media. Listen, I like social media, but social media, there's some bad things on social media. I love social media because as a wrestler, I can promote myself. I can put myself out there. I can put my matches up as Classic Alpha on the Take It Home podcast, which you should subscribe to right now. I can do these kind of things. I can interact with you guys that I'm doing now. I can promote my shows. I can promote my matches. I can promote the matches that I about to do or have done. I can also interact with the fans who say, hey, you did a great job, or when will you be back? I can do this kind of stuff. But with the positives, sometimes it's a negative with this social media stuff, you know, especially with everything since basically like the last 6 months. A lot of stuff has been going crazy on social media between the fans and wrestlers. Now, I want to say this, and this is not a threat. I want to say this. There was a time where wrestlers would beat up fans if they disrespect the business. Now, some people are still like that. And I'm not saying this as, like I said, it's not a threat, it's not a warning. But some people are like that because this is their bread and butter or whatever like that. Now, as a fan, you are a consumer. That's true. And I hate that shut up and consume mentality. Just because we do this, you're supposed to like that. I don't like that. So of course, you have an opinion on what you like, obviously, and what you don't like. Sometimes y'all go a little bit overboard with certain things. You be wanting people to lose their job because they don't like you don't like them, so they got to lose their job. They suck. I'm like, I would never say that to somebody because that's their livelihood. They got kids, they got a family, they gotta eat, So do I recommend some people training? Yes, of course, or whatever like that. Only if they're like unsafe or very dangerous or something, I would say, yeah, they may need to do something else. But to be like, okay, well, they need to do this and they need to quit because I'm sick of seeing them, or I hope this happened, or good for them. Like when bad things happen to wrestlers, oh, I'm so happy. I'm like, they ain't do nothing to you. So, even wrestlers say this to other wrestlers too. So they're not dodging this smoke neither. So that's one of those things too. Wrestlers on social media, like kayfabe is like on life support, and y'all definitely be pulling the plug when you a heel and you having a heart on social media for certain things as well. Especially like Rhea Ripley with the Maxine Dupree, because a lot of people have been very vocal about Maxine having to learn her wrestling skills or lack thereof. So Rhea was like, oh, well, I hope you guys get booed at your job. I'm like, really? That's not what you're supposed to be doing right now. Your song literally says, this is my brutality. Not this is your brutality. You shouldn't be trying to have people be booed for going to their job. Like this shouldn't even be your concern. I understand it, but still, I'm just saying. But that's one of those things, a small tidbit I did want to speak on. Ooh, Lord. I got two more and we out. Hygiene. My wife says, oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah. Hygiene. Hygiene. Listen. I understand that some people sweat. Some people have body odor. I understand that, especially if that's after your match. However, if you smell like 12 cans, bounce that thing like you can't no more, before you even put your gear on, I'm going to need you to go baptize in some soap and water. Listen, hey, man, I'm sorry, y'all. Listen, Axe is not soap. And as a person who has a can of Axe in my bag, I'm good when I come to wrestle, but I always have it. But still, Axe is not soap. Axe is not soap and water. Axe is not suds. It's not bubbly. It's not none of that. That's like putting sprinkles on a turd. Nobody wants that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, please, if you have time, please take a shower before you go. If you know you smell. Like, man, I went to one show, man. We literally was just out we was literally just waiting for our match to happen. Dude was just walking by, stank. He ain't even do nothing yet. Like, how in the world you leave a house like that? Had me questioning myself. And I'm like, man, I know I took care of myself before I left, man. Like, what's going on? And then sometimes we be in the back and it be so many people, it'll be hot. So not only is you stank, your stank is cooking in the back. And it's horrible. And it's like real sickening. Like, I don't gag when I'm, bad smells, but sometimes I do now because it's bad. Like, please take care of yourself. Deodorant, soap and water. That goes into investment, by the way, too. In promos, investing in gear, invest in soap and water at the same time. Seriously, come on, man. Like, people have not been booked because of that. Hey, why don't you book such and such? Oh, such and such smell like such and such. You know what I'm saying? So always remember that. Hygiene is very important. I hope they put Team Chaos. Okay, you said this already. Team Chaos was originally. Yep, I remember that. I think the reason fans provoke rust is to get money. Well, it's not even that. It's just sometimes people use that for clout, though. They'll be like, okay, well, Seth Rollins cussed me out. I got under his skin. I'm his enemy. Listen, this is what we said. And, you can go on social media and say, hey, I had a spat with Seth Rollins and stuff. I'm not on Twitter a lot, but I feel like I would tag people when I feel a certain way about certain topics because I want them to know how I feel. I don't want people to think I'm just saying something and I'm scared to say nothing. No, I'm in this business as much as they are. Yes, they're got more money and all this other stuff, but still, that's one of the reasons why I just don't, because, I try to stay away from toxic stuff. Like, you can control the level of toxicity you have in social media. You really can. You can definitely leave. You can cut your phone off if you want to. You can uninstall the app if you want to. I know a lot of people make money off of it and people can't leave it alone. I can definitely leave it alone because I can find something else to do. But yeah, hygiene. Wash yourself, please. All right, the last one was not being punctual, and that's something that was even with miscommunication. I will say that, yeah, if you're going to be late, let them know you're going to be late. If You have to leave early. Let them know that too. But most people catch on when you say you're going to be late, and then when you show up, you got to leave early because you don't want to do no ring crew. You don't want to do nothing. So always be punctual, always be professional and stuff like that. Because, like I said, in the long haul, that can mess you up. I want to say this before I go. Shout out to everybody that's watched me for so long. Like, I appreciate you guys. Um, Yesterday, one of my favorite wrestlers, he retired, and I didn't watch much of Revolution. I'm not gonna lie. I was in and out of it. I listen, hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll probably go back and watch some stuff, probably, but probably not tonight. Definitely not tonight. But I saw one of my favorite wrestlers in the ring one more time, and it was very special to see. Now, you guys know I'm very vocal on the match. I was vocal on the match earlier today, but the intro, the videos was very good to see his sons, who look like him, by the way, the Gemini Man effect, come out, especially the one with the red, white, and blue stuff. It was just like, bro, did this man cut his hair? Like, that's how crazy it was. And then the other son to come out with the red and black wolf pack. Don't turn your back on the wolf pack, or you might end up in the body bag. Bars. It was dope. Sting was being Sting in the match. The no selling, all of the stuff. Darby didn't have to cut himself open falling on glass. I'm gonna always say that, but still. Sting was a big motivation in my wrestling for my move set. Like I said, the Stinger splash, the no selling, the strength, the larger than life attitude, hanging, high fiving kids want to take pictures, considering him a superhero and stuff like that. So, like I said, when WWE dropped that DVD, I got the DVD because I wanted to see, a lot of the matches that he had. He was an Impact as well as Joker Sting and regular Sting when he came back out of retirement to go against Jeff Jarrett. That was a great match. That was a very good match, by the way. Matches he had with AJ Styles at Impact Wrestling was good, and even the small thing in WWE, with Triple H. Now, I don't think that Triple H should have won that match at WrestleMania. I think it was good that we saw NWO and DX be among each other because that was a big thing. But I do think Sting should have won that. Even Sting having the next scare going against Seth Rollins and retiring the second time, and then coming back to AEW and wrestling alongside Darby. It was pretty good. Like I said, I've been very vocal on Sting's career as far as the Darby stuff with the AEW, the diving out and stuff like that. But I will miss him. I think he's a great motivator. It was cool to see not only grown men cry, but I saw kids crying that this was his last match. So that's a big thing, to be a timeless icon, basically, to where kids are looking at you, and you've been doing this for a long time, since the 80s and things, like about 40 years, close to 40 years, and little kids still look up to you, and they still love what you do, and they're going to miss you because of what you've done with Darby and then what you've done with yourself. This was a good send-off. I will say that, especially with his sons. Like, to me, whenever I decide to hang it up, Lord willing, that's one of those things I would want to do, is just to come out with my kids. You know what I'm saying? Just because of how awesome it was or whatever like that. And for them to even look like him 100% is just the craziest thing to me. But thank you, Sting. Thank you for a lot of things that you've done. Shout out to you, Sting. Yep. Yep. Let's see. Red is already big up. Sting should have won Mania. I was a Sting. Yes. Sting should have won WrestleMania. He should have beat Triple H. What did that win do for Triple H? It did nothing. All it did was, it was an ego move, because Triple H beat a lot of the top WCW guys already. He beat Goldberg. He beat Booker T. He beat a lot of these top guys that was already there. He beat them already. So to him, it was just another notch in his belt. Sting should have won. Sting was like the hero in WCW when the NWO was taking over everything. It would have made so much sense for Sting to win instead of giving it to Triple H. It just would have made more sense. I called it with his boy. Man, when I saw that, like, I got chills. I was like, man, this is so dope to me. And then the fact that the outfits was what he wore before. That makes it more crazy. I think Triple H winning was probably most likely was Vince calling it because Vince really wanted to show that WWE was more dominant than WCW, even though it was years before Sting showed up. Like we already knew that y'all won, y'all bought them already. You know what I'm saying? But still, it was basically more of a nostalgia thing when it comes with like the NWO and DX, and like even them coming out for a little bit. It was a little weird because of how we knew what Sting stood for, but I understood it and I loved it and I did pop for it. Triple H winning definitely didn't need to happen, but yeah, Sting was always be one of my favorite. You guys know my number one is Undertaker, of course, but Sting was always like up there when it comes to professional wrestling and stuff like that. And even when he got older, you guys know I was very critical on his stuff, but I still will watch it because it was Sting. You know what I'm saying? That was just like one of those things that I would just continue to look at. So, whew, I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. Oh, Lordy Ric Flair. I'm tired, y'all. But look, that's what I wanted to talk about today. I just wanted to go live. It's been a while since I've been live, but I also wanted to talk about some things that I didn't like. I wanted to get more of a clarification. Now, the situation with the gear maker, that was after I decided to make the live. I was going to go live regardless. You get what I'm saying? I was going to go live regardless about the pet peeves. But my thing was, when I say stuff, I want people to know that I'm not making nothing up. I'm telling 100% truth. I have no reason to lie. Like I said, I have no reason to lie. And like I said, I backed it up with receipts and everything. I'll pray for the person, forgive them, all that stuff. But still, you don't do people wrong like that. And like I said, you should not do nobody like that. You shouldn't treat nobody like that for real. Especially somebody that's been more than patient and been understanding. You just don't do that. But sometimes you just have to put your foot down. So once again, I do hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you guys for rocking with me. Do not forget, still the show next month. First show of the year. A lot of great matches. It's going to be dope. Guys, pull up. Sponsored by Limelight Comics as well. Got a lot of things coming up with comics. I can't wait. I gotta do a commercial for them. It's a lot of things coming up. Shout out to David and everything that you continue to do. Shout out to C Red that's in the chat. Shout out to Bryant. Shout out to Martell. Shout out to Brett. Shout out to Xavier. A lot of y'all. Shout out to DJ. Shout out to Robert. Who else I got? I want to make sure I don't forget. Shout out to Josh. I want to make sure I don't forget nobody. I think I got everybody. Mello, my wife, Arshawn, Yella. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate you guys for commenting, leaving comments. I think I got everybody. Who? Jamie. Shout out to you, Jamie. Thanks my wife reminding me because I just pulled the name up. So thank you guys for rocking with me. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Like I said, you guys can message me. Let's talk about more stuff. We can talk about this private. We can talk about a whole bunch of other stuff as well. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening. My final comment. Yes, you can come to the show. Please do. I recommend. Please come to the show. Please come to the show, C Red. You're always welcome. You know that. Bring some cookies too. All right. This is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.